Well, this video in particular is going to be about what I partially think kind of caused the Afro-American identity crisis, especially in regards to like some of the bullshit I've been seeing, like with the FBA shit. Like, I want to make its own special video about that, but I'll just probably possibly put it a part of this one, as well as in regards to damn, what's the like to Hebrew Israelite shit as well, and you know what I mean, that king shit. First of all, there's like this random shit I've seen on Facebook where there's like these Black Americans that keep trying to say that they're like the descendants of Egyptians, and they literally show like certain features. Like, oh, you see my nose is the same as Nefertiti's nose, stuff of that nature, blah blah blah, whatever. And well, the thing a lot of these Afro Americans don't realize is that those similarities are there to begin with, because you have European ancestry to some extent. Like, if you know about the averages, and in regards to Afro Americans, where it could differ extremely individual by individual, region by region. Like, if you know about it, you know about it. But it's just like, well, you have that Eurocentric nose because you have European, Western Eurasian ancestry, the same way that the average Egyptian nowadays have Western Eurasian ancestry, and that's really where the similarities in. And that's what a lot of these people need to realize. And it also doesn't help that it really also doesn't help in regards to the Hebrew Israelite shit specifically, that people keep claiming that Afro Americans are descendants of Jews because of woolly hair and stuff like that. You'll see like some of these descriptions that they were showing. It's like an obviously mixed race person. Well, that mixed race person has woolly hair because that mixed race person is of mixed ancestry. And by woolly hair, they were talking about like 4C hair, like that of the vast majority of Black Americans. Like, you got sub-Saharan African ancestry, you're gonna have some type of sub-Saharan influences on your face and shit, right? Well, 4C hair is like springs. Whenever they were like talking about Jesus in the Bible, and they said he had woolly hair. If you want to see woolly hair, literally go to the Middle East. Like go to Palestine, you'll see some dudes with curly hair. Go to Lebanon, you'll see dudes with curly hair. Go to Yemen, you'll see dudes with curly hair. Go to Egypt, you'll see dudes with their hair is extremely different, I'd say. Like, you'll see dudes with straight hair, curly hair, Afro-like hair in Egypt, all kinds of shit. Because it's always kind of been like a multi-ethnic country, since the ancient days. But besides that, it's just there's really no similarities. And you'll see people talking about copper skin, and then we'll talk about the average Afro-American skin tone. By copper skin, they're talking about like what you'll see like in the Middle East and stuff like that. Like, for example, if you ever met like anyone from Yemen, like some of them, they have like really dark tan skin, and by copper skin, they're talking about like that complexion. People of sub-Saharan descent were never really referred to as copper historically. Like, it was either ebony, or it was simply black. That was really it. It was ebony or black, for the most part. Or some word that's like black, or but in like a different language. It's like, for example, like the Niger River in Nigeria, for example. It's the Black River in French. That's what it is, because all of that shit originated for like the Latin word for black. And that's the truth of it. And to be quite honest with you. But let me get deeper into the roast, man. I'll say that, like, for example, the one-drop rule wasn't 100% fully enforced until like the 1930s. It partially was in some states to various extents, but it wasn't enforced on a national level until the 1930s. I'll argue that, for example, there were quite a few Americans of mixed race heritage, right? And they were treated, terribly by general Anglo-American society, which caused a lot of these people to outright, reject like any of the European ancestry that they had in their veins, and only claim the African ancestry, because even if they had problems with people of African descent, it was much less, terrible compared to dealing with general like Anglo-American, society and stuff. And for the most part, uh, these people felt extremely alienated, and you could tell that like that damage is like still there, like over like decades to like centuries later, honestly. Which is why you'll see people of obvious mixed looking ancestry just simply say that they're black. And since you have these people outright rejecting their identity because of like generations of conditional harm in regards to how they were seen and treated like societally, how they were literally treated terribly by people who they shared some of the same ancestry as. They only claim the African portion. And now let's get to the 21st century. Now you have a problem where you have like a lot of these eccentric Afro-Americans. And by eccentric, I'm talking about dudes where, man, like they're kind of like fucking crazy. Like the only people I've ever seen like do some of this ancient Egyptian shit or Hebrew Israelite shit. They were always eccentric people, or people prone to being a part of a cult mentality wise. That's why you have these people that are extremely confused and struggling with the identity crisis that they're going through now, where they can't comprehend that they simply have mixed features. And even then, you can have an Afro-American of full sub-Saharan ancestry, which was more common, decades ago, compared to now. That person would still, by technicality, be of mixed ancestry, because that person would have ancestry from this region of Western Africa, that region of Central Africa, Madagascar, Uganda, stuff of that nature. And it's just like, even then, with a lot of those people, you can even directly pinpoint some of their general looks in Western Africa. So that still is technically mixed ancestry, but on an ethnic level. And now, add that already mixed African ethnic background, and add that with European ancestry, and now you got these people who are truly clueless about where their heritage came from. So they keep claiming this and they keep claiming that because they see these places as absolutely amazing and absolutely great, because these people want something to be proud of, which I understand why they do it in that case. But they're just simply misguided because that's not their heritage, that's not their ancestry. And in the case of the people who claim the ancient Egyptian thing and are talking about the Nubians and stuff like that, well, the Nubians are still a thing in southern Egypt and southern Sudan. I literally used to date a woman of 100% Nubian origin, whose grandparents came from Aswan in southern Egypt. If you know what Aswan is, that's how you know I'm not bullshitting about what I'm talking about. Also, the vast majority of the people in northern Sudan are of some type of Nubian origin, either partial or full. But yeah, a lot of them, they don't realize that stuff, and a lot of them are anti, a lot of them are anti, let me think. They're anti-big government, I'll say, or anti-control, or anti-big brother, whatever you want to call it. So they're going to be extremely untrustworthy of the educational system. They're going to be extremely untrustworthy of DNA tests and stuff like that will actually help them pinpoint mostly general areas of this continent or that continent that their ancestors came from, because a lot of these people are, like I said, extremely misguided and prone to being a part of cults, schizophrenics, just generally paranoid people, and stuff of that nature. So it's really one of those cases where there's multiple causes of why quite a few of these people are quite confused about their heritage and their sense of belonging. Some reasons is understandable, mixed heritage, European and African heritage being shunned by Euro-American society, aka these people getting turned on by people that they share some of their ancestry with, as well as these people having a reason to be anti-Big Brother because of all of the bullshit that went on historically. I just hope that these people finally come to the bonfire and just accept reality for what it is. You're just a mixed West African European ancestry. You should acknowledge, just accept it.